Athletes really need to know the reason why they're doing something. So you gotta remind them constantly, and ask them, hey, why are you here? Why are you doing this on this day? What gets you out of the bed in the morning? Welcome to Coaching Wild with Coach Wilde. This is going to be a new kind of video collection where a former athlete of mine and I are going to get together and we're going to talk about and present different coaching styles and thoughts and strategies that you can utilize as a coach or as an athlete yourself. I've only been a coach for about 7 years. I have had a lot of success, and I think that's mostly because of the charisma and the personability I have with the athletes, but also I think it's just because of the bonds I've built with my athletes. And so we'll do all these different types of videos, and if there's ever a topic that you guys want to see, we'll also try to remind everybody at the end of the video each time that if you got a topic you want to hear about or you need some information on, we'll try to get a video topic on that for you. This week we're going to talk about kind of that fourth quarter mindset, or that last mile, those final moments in your game. How do you keep yourself motivated? How do you keep going? How do you push through? How do you rise to the occasion? And how do you make sure that you have enough to finish? It's always going to depend on the athlete. It's also going to just flat out depend on the day. Every athlete is different, and as you get to know your athletes and as you get to know the type of athlete that you yourself are, you're going to be able to better respond, and you know what makes them respond. When you have a certain phrase that you've beat into their head at practice and in the games, when they hear that or they themselves fire that off in their own head, they're going to respond and they're going to go and get it done. For me, a lot of those phrases are going to be simply gut check or in the moment, just what I think they need to hear, because I do coach, I mostly coach distance runners. So with that, it's always going to be something with the, hey, you got the last little bit coming up, last mile, it's gut check, make sure that you push through, remind them about a certain workout that they just accomplished where they really hammered it and they did just a phenomenal job on it. Throughout, I'm going to read some quotes that my athletes have given me that I've said to them. What's really interesting with being a coach is you can say things to them and you may not remember what you said or even that you said that in general to them, but they remember it and it really hit them home. And as human beings, we're not perfect, so we're not going to remember it. We also are going to possibly overuse certain phrases. I know my kids absolutely hated hearing gut check at times, because there was particular seasons and particular workouts where that's all I said to them, was just, hey, you got a gut check. So you got to make sure that you're careful with overusing phrases or just flat out just not giving them the right message at the right time, just because they're human too. We're going to make mistakes. One of the first ones that I'm going to touch on is a message. It actually comes from another coach that a buddy of mine shared with me, and it can be utilized in either one, but it's mostly about races. It's breaking the race up in 3 parts. You run the first part with your head, you run the second part with your body, like your arms and legs, and you run the third part with your heart. You beat that into them while they're just going back and forth in their workouts. Hey, this part of the workout, you're really running with your head. Be smart, be smart. And that second part, hey, make sure you're using your body. You got to push your body. Let's get it going. Let's get it going. And that last part with that heart, hey, you got to give it all you got. How much do you want it? You got to go. You got to push. When we start getting to the end of the game and the end of races, you're tired. And something that really makes a great athlete notable is when they can push through at the end, when even though they are tired, they can find the switch, they can turn it on and get it done. Yeah, it's easy to do that at the beginning of the game and the middle of the game when you're a good athlete, but the phenomenal athletes can flick that switch at the end as well, when they are tired, when they are sweating, when they are just feeling it. Get to them. They're in double overtime or they're in extra innings. When you can find that switch at the end of the game, that's when you're a legendary athlete. That's when you're getting to that point where you are someone to be worried about. You can tell your athletes, and even yourself as a coach, you know, we always have phones in our life now, and we also have computers, but you know, selecting a particular backdrop or a screensaver for your phone or computer, or even just printing it out, putting it on your desk, putting it on your nightstand, putting it on your wall so that you can remember them. Get that nightstand there, whether it's just a picture of someone that you really look up to, or just a quote that really talks to you, inspires you. Don't be afraid to have that readily available. Being a distance, you know, I always tell my kids, make a goal. You want to make sure that you're seeing it every day. So if they go out and they want to run, you know, the 400 meters or the mile or the 5K in a certain time, put that time out there so that you yourself can make yourself accountable. Some people like to make their goals quiet or silent. Nobody knows about them. That's okay if they can get motivated by doing that. But some people need to be held accountable. Most people do. They need to be held accountable on what their goals are with other people around them. And that's why, you know, pro athletes are as vocal as they are sometimes. They say, I want to be a state champ. I want to be the MVP. That's what you got to do. You got to make it known that's what you want, so that not only you know what your goal is, but others know what your goal is, so that they can help you and so that you know you are accountable. This one works pretty well. I think it works a lot better for ball sports, especially football, baseball, basketball, soccer, hockey, so on and so forth. Even tennis will work for it. You can do anything for a minute. You can dig down deep and do anything for a minute. Now for running, it's a little harder because you go out, you do a minute, and then you got to dig down again. Hey, anybody can do anything for a minute. All right, you've already done it for a minute. Hey, you already did that. Let's do it again. Hey, you already did that. Let's do it again. In baseball, soccer, you know, you get moments where you can rest. Even in soccer, you get moments to rest. If you're really hustling hard, sometimes you don't get as much rest. But there's always moments where you can stop for a second, catch your breath. You can break those up. You're thinking, all right, these next seconds, I'm going to make sure I get this done. I'm going to get it to this part of the field. Football, all right, this play's mine. I'm owning the person that I'm going up against this time. I'm getting the ball, I know that it's coming to me, or I'm making sure that the ball comes to me, so I'm going to beat my man and I'm going to get it done. Those closing moments in the competition, the game, the meet, the race, that's when it's really going to count on what you can do. Going from just cruise gear to grind gear to gut check gear. When you're really gut checking and you're really digging deep, you're going to be able to find those things that you really need. And when you can help your athletes find it easier, they're going to be a lot more successful and they're going to believe in you a lot more. When your athletes know that you believe in them, they're going to trust you enough that they will do it just because you believe in them. Athletes really need to know the reason why they're doing something. So you gotta remind them constantly, and ask them, hey, why are you here? Why are you doing this on this day? What gets you out of the bed in the morning? Are you trying to make it so that you yourself can get an education? Are you trying to find a way to make a living doing this? Or are you just seeing how far you can push yourself? Are you trying to find a new meaning in life? Is this your meaning in life? You were put on this earth to do this. You know, you've always heard that it's only the last 2 minutes of any sporting event is the one that really matters. You know, that has some truth to it. And that's because the events that we're mostly noticing and that we're really watching are the nail biters or professionals when it's, you know, pretty much a close game. And that's when those all-stars really start grinding because they've grown up being the person that gets leaned on, or they want to be the person that gets leaned on. You want to be an athlete that thrives when it comes to that moment, when you can put the team on your back and you can carry them over that finish line. You can take them and get them into the end zone. You can hit that winning shot, make that winning throw. it's moments that you're going to remember and you're going to just love, and other people are going to remember you for. But, you know, those aren't always going to define you. It's a collection of moments that are going to define you. That's why it's more important that you're able to create that fourth quarter mindset, those last moments. You know, after that seventh inning stretch, that's when you really got to bear down and grit and get yourself over to the line and over to the finish. You know, lots of people think they can do it. Not many people have. Well, guys, my cohort and I, we want to thank you for coming and joining us. Hopefully you got something out of this. We'll keep making these. You know, here at the start it may be a little choppy, a little learning curve, because we don't know what we're doing. Heck, maybe we won't do another one and this will be the only one that comes, and it'll be up for a few days and then we're too embarrassed by it and we burn it, get rid of it. But you know, guys, sometimes you just got to put yourself out there. So put yourself out there. Whether you have a season or not this year, put your best foot forward. We've been training in the dark so that we can shine in the light. Make sure that when that moment comes, whether it's this season, this calendar year, or if we have to wait until 2021, go get it done, guys. Don't wait. Put the work in now so that when your moment comes, you're more prepared. Thanks, guy. This is Coach Wilde on Running Wild. Hope to see you out running crazy.